Comedian Sean Boyd from Just Therapy, the podcast. I got to talk to you about Detroit Auto Parts. They're the official parts store of Redline Radio. They have two convenient locations, one on the east side. You can call 216-531-7373, or the west side, 216-398-7373. Don't forget to mention Redline Radio and you receive 10% off your purchase. Make sure you hit up Detroit Auto Parts. Check them out.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your girl Shy from She Vibes, and Growing Wings Adult Services is the official sponsor of the State of the Art Studio 2. Growing Wings Adult Services have 5 years of experience of taking care of adults with disabilities. For more information, call Lisa at 234-334-7547. And don't forget to tune in to She Vibes on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. EST.
But dirty trash cans can pose a serious health risk to you and your family. The pungent smell can attract rats and flies, not to mention maggots, both of which can contain dangerous diseases transferable to humans. Your dirty trash can is susceptible to harboring dangerous bacteria. Contact Brandon at Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning today at 440-752-1533 or find them on Facebook. Veteran owned and operated and eco-friendly. Again, call Brandon at 440-752-1533.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Talking about balls.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talking About Balls. I am Justin George, joined as always by Kyle Price and Tim Buck Tuesday. Tim Buck, technical difficulty Tuesday here live. No, I'm just kidding. It's not his fault.
It's the ugliest green screen behind me ever.
We are here at Studio One again due to some internet issues.
It's kind of growing on me, honestly. I enjoy the conversation aspect of this setup.
Yeah, but because we obviously did the show here on Sunday because of the technical difficulties, and then we kind of loved it. We actually liked the setup. We liked the triangular look that we have right now.
Yeah, it's kind
of nice.
I can look at you and talk to you. I can look at you and talk to you. I can look at myself, talk to myself sometimes.
For me, it's truly weird that I can actually look over and see Tim. Usually it's just like I have to like lean back. I'm doing a lot of shit. This is
how we started our podcast.
Yeah.
We would just sit across the table from each other and just
this was it.
Talk.
We literally had basically a folding table and my computer. And we went in our time machine today, and here we are. And
speaking of that, though, I mean, we talked about it earlier today. We're almost to our 100th episode.
Yeah, just about. I'm actually a little behind on updating the episodes, or uploading, I should say. Yeah. So according to Apple iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whatever the fuck it's called, we are at like 93. But I believe I have like 3 or 4 in the can right now that I still have to upload. So correct. We're at like 97, 98.
Coming up, we got like three more episodes. We have to think of something fun to do. But yeah, 100 episodes. 100 episodes. It's flown by.
It would be kind of weird if the 100th episode is next week at Lucy's.
I think it is.
It might be. I
think it is.
I'm really gonna have to look.
That might work out.
I'll double check. I'll upload.
Sounds like there might have to be some adult beverages to celebrate said 100th episode.
There will be a celebration of alcoholic beverages, even if it's the 98th episode. I don't give a shit. It doesn't take much for me, but we'll make it work. But what's up? How are you guys doing?
Happy Wednesday, man. I'm good. Today's kind of been. I don't feel the greatest. I think I got almost under the weather. I'm trying to fight it off right now, but I'm here.
That's the other nice thing about Studio One is there's a big distance between me and Kyle. He's all germy, so it's perfect.
I'm not breathing on him right now.
It actually works out. This was meant to be. How about you, Tim? How you doing?
I'm in a funky gray area, but it's not bad. It's like a transition.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like
absolutely, that happens. I mean,
you're transitioning.
The winter months do that.
Thank you. I got my titties out right.
Yeah, we don't judge. He was ahead of the curve.
I don't judge.
Those are homegrown.
Congratulations, my friend.
But yeah, it's just like one is Black History Month, so
yes.
I'm always happy for that. I do post every year. Day 1 to whatever, because it was the first year I did it was a leap year, so 29.
Yep. But
of course this year is 28. And the first day actually didn't go too well in my opinion. Like when I watch it back, just because I'm a critic of my, I'm a perfectionist.
Oh, 100%. I know the feeling.
Yeah. So it's not as nice as I would like it, but I got through it. I may reshoot it and just put it back out. But
hey, at the end of the day, it's the first of the month. You got 27 more tries. Hell yeah.
Sure.
Well, I'm happy to see you. Dave, what's up? I saw Dave in the comments.
Grape said this is his birthday?
Yeah, next week, I think Graves said his birthday's the night of Lucy's. I keep telling him he's got to come up and celebrate.
It's his birthday today.
No, I didn't think it was on the
Wednesday.
first. Yeah.
When I was announcing Lucy's on Sunday, I think Graves said that it was his birthday.
Right.
So I told him, come on up and celebrate.
So
We'd
you
love to see
asked, so how are you? Because you always ask us how we are. So I mean,
Oh, I'm always golden. You know me.
I
I got no reason to
Living my
complain.
life like
this
it's
is your
golden.
platform. I mean, just go ahead and just voice because out your chest,
No,
let out your feelings today.
I'm usually pretty good. And if there's something that bothers me, you guys hear about it. You know.
Throughout the show, it's coded into the entire podcast
I
how he
love
feels.
bitching about things. You guys all know that. So if I have an issue, you'll definitely hear
We're
it.
the most underpaid therapists of all time. Tim.
It doesn't matter who it is. I just love complaining. Complaining is my favorite thing in the world. I love it. So
I think your wife would attest to that.
she
Yes.
100%. Like that's literally all I do. It's my favorite hobby. You think I love sports? I love complaining more than I like sports. And that's saying
I've
something.
been a witness to many of complaints.
I just find
Some
it.
Karen-esque complaints, if I should say.
If you've ever watched the show Curb Your Enthusiasm, I am literally Larry David.
Yes, I can
every
see
little
that.
thing. If I see a person like open a door wrong, I'm like, what the fuck? Like I get mad about every little thing. I can't help it. It's just who I am. But it makes me who I am, and I'm happy about it. So. What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for watching.
Chip, we are back in the OG studio.
We are in the OG studio. Appreciate you staying up this late, Chip. I know 7:45 is a little late for you. So I know you had to, obviously, you probably have this streaming as you're sitting there bashing the women of the WNBA because that's all I see you doing on Facebook today. They keep popping up in my timeline for some reason.
Hey, like you have feelings to get off your chest.
Yeah.
He has feelings to get off his chest about that too. It's okay.
The guy with season tickets to Rec Baseball is complaining about the WNBA not being a sport and saying nobody watches it. So,
I mean, I honestly have watched more Crushers games than WNBA games before. I'm sure you have too.
I've actually never watched the Crushers games.
Oh.
The WNBA has the.
You've watched an actual WNBA?
I've watched a couple.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like the playoffs and stuff. I like Deanna Taurasi and people like that.
Right.
Super.
Okay.
Some of the legends.
I've been to a Rockers game, so
I never had a chance to go. I wanted to though. I think that was a cool name. That was a cool. I wish it was around. I would do it. I would go to games.
Speaking of things coming back, not to get off on a tangent here, did you hear that arena football's coming back?
Yeah. The commissioner literally posted, "We're back" in a quote. That's all it says.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious if Cleveland gets their
they
team
get
back.
the,
Gladiators.
Cleveland Gladiators. That was fun. I went to a bunch of games for those. That'd be something cool for Dave if he could get us some.
That
some
would be
media
amazing.
passes for that. I want dibs. I want everyone to hear it
Yes, we call
now.
dibs.
Talking about balls gets dibs for Cleveland Gladiator
Fucking
games.
yes.
But looks like we have a pretty big audience right now. We got a pretty good group. You guys know the drill. As I posted earlier on Facebook, Kyle is officially down by 2 games in the picks, and there's only 1 game left, the Super Bowl.
We should put the
Coin
coin toss on the board and the give
I
me a chance to make some victories back.
I can maybe give you winner and correct score.
Winner and correct score. Okay.
Because I think coin flip, I mean, coin flip is a 50-50. You never know. So maybe I do coin flip, and then obviously if you lose the coin flip right off the rip, you're fucked. There's
Yep.
no going back.
I mean, exactly. So it's all downhill from there. So whatever.
So yeah, maybe we do coin flip winner, and then we can make it. But I mean, the other thing too is I'm going to be picking a team, so
That's true. That is also true.
I could either go up ahead by more. Well, we'll figure it out. If we end up tying, maybe we do a dual punishment.
Okay,
we could do
we'll
that.
figure it out. But
We'll figure
for right
something
now,
out.
right
But-
now, I'm the one who gets punished. So
If it's a dual punishment, because I'm a nice, generous guy, I'm going to be going very easy on myself. So if it's an individual punishment for just Kyle, then I want to read these comments. I want everyone to chime in here and let us know. In the past, Kyle has done the cold bath, the ice bath. He has done
yes,
the hot sauce.
that was
the hot sauce extract. It
It,
wasn't
it
even
was like
actual hot
it's
sauce.
like a syrup,
Yeah.
literally.
It was meant to be
that
mixed
sounds
into
painful.
food. Not like
it
it's not a
lasted
flavor.
all night.
It's not
That's what
like
she said.
Frank's where you just dump it on. It was literally you're supposed to like mix a little
Well,
bit
I remember
into your
I
chili.
took like the spoon and like hung it over my mouth and like
and it was like
slowly
molasses.
like dripped in my mouth. Could you imagine how slow it went down my? Never mind.
It looked like it looked like the devil's jizz because it was very, very red.
And you know what? It made its way through my body that night. We went to a wrestling event that night. I was so fucking uncomfortable. I went home and I blew up that toilet. My asshole was sore for days.
Chipper, there is no way in fucking hell I will ever do the 1 chip challenge again. I am a pussy when it comes to hot stuff. Frank's Red Hot is enough to make me sweat and ruin my night. So there's no way I'm doing a 1 chip challenge unless that 1 chip is a sour cream and onion ruffle or sour cream and cheddar. I'll do that.
Does that even kind of push the limits a little bit?
No, those are delicious.
Okay.
So I'd love to do that challenge if that's on the table.
Do the 1 chip challenge with the hot sauce on it.
I'll dip it in buffalo chicken dip. How's that? That's my hot dip. That's the best you're getting out of me.
I don't know what would be hotter though, the 1 chip challenge or that extract shit I did. I don't know. I feel like I could handle the 1 chip challenge.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Somebody out there, if you know, let me know the Scoville units, whatever they're called. What's Grape commenting on? Because I can't see his comments.
He doesn't pop up on our thing.
Unless, he might be on Studio 2's
I see.
feed. I'm on Studio 1. So, Grape, if you could join the Studio 1 link or whatever the fuck.
I saw a couple of options.
Because
The Redline Radio, the Redline Radio one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Redline Radio, the normal page. I can't read the screen.
Start popping some of those comments, Tim, starting with Chipper's little one chip challenge.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we can do that. Yeah, if you want to pop those up, I can read them off that. Good call. Loser does the one chip challenge, no chance. I saw Dave comment earlier and said Chipper's trying to back out of a challenge. We got to figure that out.
Kyle loses, he has to play the first golf tournament left-handed.
That's a whole thing, though, because then you'd have to get left-handed clubs unless you know somebody.
I would just break my clubs, I think.
You'd have to go backwards, belly button piercing.
Hey, go fuck yourself, woman, with my same last name. We see him. We see
Carolina Reaper pepper. Fuck that. That's all
Carolina Reaper.
I'm okay if you guys want to do that.
I feel like that's a step down from what I had, though.
There it is. Now I'm seeing Grape stuff on my page.
I feel like I could get that, though.
A Carolina Reaper?
Yeah, I feel like I can handle that.
I mean, that's up to you.
Those are pretty hot.
So, Chipper, I'm thinking about being nice. I'm thinking about expanding it, making Kyle do a parlay to.
In the spirit of betting?
In the spirit of gambling, Kyle has to do a parlay and he has to go 2 for 2 on Super Bowl Sunday in order to try to tie me, because that's the best you can do is tie me because we're going to make our picks at Lucy's next week. I forgot to mention that. Join us next Wednesday from 7 to 8. We're only doing 1 hour because I looked out in the crowd and, you got people like Chipper that, they don't want to stay up late. Going to 9 o'clock is kind of late.
It is.
And I also feel like us up there talking, albeit I could do it all day. I could talk for 5 hours if I wanted to. It doesn't matter. But I sensed the people in the crowd were getting a little restless. They were getting kind of bored. And I understand completely. They were sitting there for 2 hours listening to us talk while they're getting served frozen French fries.
Yep.
I understand. The people were not too happy. The crowd was not pleased.
And there goes one less sponsor.
No, it's fine. They admitted their faults of that evening, and they're remedying the situation. So, all seriousness though, we're really looking forward to going to Lucy's again next week, and I'm excited. We had a great time last time, so if you can come on out, it is Grape's birthday. If he shows up, we're going to do a little celebration for him. That'll be a great time. Have a couple drinks.
So run back to we got one chip challenge. We got the belly button piercing, left-handed golf. I don't know. None of these seem like
Carolina Reaper.
They don't make me
Carolina
nervous.
Reaper.
They don't make me nervous.
All right, guys, you guys heard it here. Kyle is not afraid of your challenges that you're throwing out there.
I've gotten ice bucket. I've gotten tased. I've gotten hot sauce. I've gotten short of everything. Get my nuts ran over by a fucking car, which I'm not doing, by the way.
Nipple piercing.
That was.
I think that was mentioned before. A nipple piercing.
Yeah, that would fucking hurt like a bitch.
I think it would, but so many people do it.
I thought about getting it, like just because I'm thinking it'd be dope for the show.
I couldn't
go skydiving. That's okay.
I do not like my nipples touched at all. I don't know why. I just don't like it. So I couldn't imagine like having a professional piercer.
Justin and his wife's sex life is amazing, by the way. Don't touch my nipples.
I don't like my ass cheeks touched, and I don't like my nipples touched. Those are off limits. She knows it. She knows the rules.
So when those cheeks are clapping, it's not Justin's.
Yeah, definitely not mine.
Donkey kicks or booty scoots? Can you explain what a fucking booty scoot is?
I'm thinking donkey kick is like you got to get a donkey kick in the balls. Booty scoots, that's a new one. I don't know.
Is that what happens like when your dog shits but doesn't clean his butthole completely?
Yeah, we talked about that
when we were across the fucking.
When we were on the grapevine, he was talking about why do dogs like drag their asses across the carpet. Is that what he means? We got to film Kyle dragging his bare ass against the carpet.
Did I get down there to drag my ass? I'm not fucking going. I'm not getting up. So
I mean, if anything, you got to do it after a night of Mexican food, and you got to do it at Studio 2.
Yeah.
In honor of the internet taking a shit, you got to wipe your shit on the carpet.
I like that actually. I'll drag it across the carpet over there.
Grape, fuck till you're stuck. Grape wants the number, I think, for the.
What's the?
I don't know the number of the hotline here.
I have no idea.
I don't come here enough.
1-800 Gamblers Anonymous.
While Tim finds that, I will let you know though that we are at Detroit Auto Parts Studio 1 because the internet at Studio 2 grew wings, ironically, at the
and
Growing
flew
Wings
the fuck away.
Adult Services Studio and got the fuck out of town because we did not have internet today. But Detroit Auto Parts is the official sponsor of Redline, or the official parts store of Redline Radio. And home of our original studio, they have 2 convenient locations. East side, call 216-531-7373, or west side, 216-398-7373. Mention Redline Radio and receive 10% off your purchase.
I think Dave needs to take the internet and throw it in the trash. And then once it's in the trash, have the dumpster pick it up and then get that trash can cleaned by Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning, because he needs to do something with that fucking thing over there. It's the official hotline sponsor when it's working over at Studio 2. Trash bin cleaning and pressure washing. Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning is locally owned, eco-friendly trash bin cleaning service in Northwest Ohio. They service North Ridgeville and surrounding areas. You can reach Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning, LLC at 440-752-1533. Give Brandon a call today. Get 10% off your first service if you mention Redline Radio.
Now, they are not a paid affiliate of Redline Radio or of Talking About Balls, so I won't mention them by name, but the internet provider at Studio 2, let's just say it rhymes with rectum. And if you know what comes out of a rectum, that would be shit. Where does your shit go? It goes down the drain.
In the toilet.
If you ever have too much of that shit and your drain gets clogged, who are you going to call? Not the Ghostbusters, I'll tell you what, because then Lee might show up at your house in a costume with a vacuum strapped to his back, and nobody wants that. So you call Smith's Drain Service, LLC. Smith's Drain Service is your local drain cleaning experts, specializing in main sewer lines, bathtub and laundry lines, septic lines, kitchen sink lines, floor drains and downspouts, and so much more. Family owned and operated. You can call Smith's Drain Service today, 440-242-8704.
I don't know. I've had to exercise some demons in a toilet before, so Ghostbusters might not be a far stretch when you have to, after you're done going to the bathroom. But no, honestly, if you have any issues, a Studio 2 it's a beautiful studio. It was designed and built by Wiggins Construction and Home Improvement. If you have any kind of remodels, anything you need done at your house, doors, siding, windows, kitchens, anything you need updated, give them a call. It's Will, 440-731-7654. Tell Will that Team Redline Radio sent you.
As mentioned earlier, we are going to be live at Lucy's Shenanigans Pub next Wednesday. They changed their menu. They changed their name. They changed it all. The one thing that didn't change, having a good time. You can always have a great time at Lucy's. Go check them out at 2218 Broadview Road, Cleveland, Ohio. Michelle and the staff at Lucy's are always committed to giving their guests the best experience. Join them every Friday night for karaoke. And, of course, all your hometown sports games. Contact them today, 216-675-0013.
So I'm thinking the challenge is going to be, the punishment is going to be hot, right? I mean, that's what we're going to have to go with. I'm not adding anymore. I'm thinking
going
back to the topic.
The punishments, you're going to have to sit in on every Steel City Renegades episode next year. That's the punishment.
That would be the fucking punishment of the century there.
That's the worst. I'd rather get a tattoo on my face than...
Been told the one chip challenge is hotter than Carolina Reaper. Come on, Kyle. You know, if I can do it, you can do it.
We do have a caller here on the Great Room Machine Tool hotline.
Let's go to them.
They might have just hung up, but yep, they did. Never mind.
All right. Well, I think I know who it might have been.
And I think their cell phone bill.
I think they have a show on Friday nights here from this lovely Studio 1, and it might be the one and only Grapevine from 6 to 8. You can check them out at Redline Radio Studio 1. Also on Friday nights, you've got Money's Crazy Mind from 8 to 10. And then Saturday mornings, you've got Unscripted with Dave and Adam from 10 to noon, or Dave and whoever decides to show up, because Adam's been a little flaky lately. It looks like he called me out on the first episode. He wanted to take the belts from us, and the guy can't even get out of bed. So I don't know what to tell you there, Adam. You got to show up if you want to beat the champs. You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Remember that. 4th and 15 coming back soon with Mel and Smooth from 2 to 4. Saturday nights, you've got Comedy and Cocktails with Jen from 8:30 to 9:30, and TMI, Too Much Information from 10 to midnight. Sundays, you've got Medium Ratchet 6 to 7. I did see Dave made a post. There's going to be a new show starting on Sundays, but it's not up there yet. I don't remember the name of it, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. Not happening?
No, I just don't know the name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nor do I. Steel City running late from 10 to noon whenever they decide to show up. I mean, they make their own schedule. They
Therapy.
Do I mean,
I
don't know.
They're on a long vacation right now.
Yeah, more power to them. It's getting kind of hard on all those old guys to get back into the studio. It's rough. It's a rough life for them. Just Therapy Monday nights with Sean Boyd from 7 to 9. Tim Buck Tuesday, our very own Tim Buck 2. He had a killer show yesterday. It was the Black History Month special. I turned it on for a couple minutes because I was in the movie theater when it was on, so I had it on quietly trying to listen. I didn't want to be that guy that's like listening to shit, but I was there. I was there in spirit. Gary Wenner always spinning the tunes from 6 to 10, and Broad Street South coming back soon. Hopefully, now with Tom Brady retiring, Angel's got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, probably made him
rumor has it he lives next door to the guy, so he must have a lot of dirt to talk about. Wednesdays, you've got today Cleveland's Finest. They debuted. I checked it out. 4 to 6. Good show. Good group of people. Again, they had to deal with the technical difficulties at Studio 2 also. So hopefully next week that's all fixed, and then they can do a normal show and everything goes smoothly, because I wanted to interact with them, but it was hard because I couldn't really hear it.
Yeah.
Technical issues. So send all your complaints to dave@redline.com. Email him all of your issues. Let him have it. And then you've got Talk About Balls from 7 to 9. to round out Wednesday. She Vibes is on a break, so we wish them the best. No need to do an ad read for them anymore.
Nope.
Just wanted to give them a quick little plug.
Absolutely.
And then on Thursdays, you've got that guy Dub from 3 to 4, I believe is his time frame, correct? Yep. You never know where he's going to be. He's like Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Dub is what he should name that show, because he's always out and about. You got Lex Vegas 7 to 8, then you got Club Pizzle from 9 to 10, rounding out for the culture. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'll be on with Dave. I think
Super Bowl morning, right?
Yeah, I forgot all who's going to be there. I think Don P.
A lot of
Dave,
man meat. A lot of
maybe
man meat.
Chipper. Yeah, it looks like a lot of dudes are going to be there. I really don't remember who it all is going to be, but check us out the morning of the Super Bowl. We're going to do a little round table here from Studio One, so check it all out.
I will be
so
there
much
in
to watch at
spirit.
Redline
I will
Radio.
be there in spirit with you.
I most likely will be there.
Fingers crossed. And I think you know what I mean. Anyway, let's get right to it. So I think Grape was trying to call, but it is what it is. And unless my computer is glitching right now, the Boston Celtics are currently up 35-7 in the first quarter with about 4 minutes to go. Yeah, that's why I'm like, hang on, is the internet fucked up here too?
No.
This can't be right.
You are correct, sir.
Holy hell, that is an assing they are getting. But hey, fuck Brooklyn and fuck Kyrie. I don't care. Of all the teams to get it, I'm happy it's them. All right, well, we'll get back into the show here. If Grape wants to call back, I don't know if you want to dial down the center, 1-800-COLLECT, Redline Radio, give us a call. We'll pick it up, buddy. I'll pick up the charges if we have to.
That number is 216-259-2062, and that is the Gerber Machine and Tool Hotline.
I'm waiting for Grape to be like, hang on, I'm calling in, and then we pick it up on the air, and it's like, there's calls from the county correctional, and you're like, oh shit, he's getting bailed out.
Do you accept these charges? Yes, absolutely.
Like, oh no, you're getting a call from inmate number, and I'm like, oh no. All right. So let's get right into it, though. We had some sports that happened over the weekend.
Actually, for a week, we talked Sunday. It's now Wednesday. A lot's happened in 3 days.
It really has. It's kind of funny when I was putting this episode together last night. I was telling the guys before we started, I was like, what the hell am I going to talk about for 2 hours? Like, what nothing happened. We have two games to break down. No other really big news that happened. A couple trades in the NFL, one a coach, some signings, some firings, nothing major. And then a bombshell today, which we'll get to in a little bit, about what some might say is the GOAT of football quarterbacking.
I've got some counter arguments to that statement.
Oh, I've got some hot takes, as you know, where I stand with that, man. But we'll get to that all eventually. But for right now, we are going to talk about the games that happened on Sunday. First one sucked. An assing.
I mean, it sucked what happened.
Yeah, I think
as to why it was an assing.
It had the potential to be a really good game, and then of course Brock Purdy gets that injury, and he's out. Josh Johnson comes in and he gets a concussion, and then they do not have another quarterback on the roster.
Did that quarterback room sacrifice somebody at the beginning of the year because?
They had to sacrifice. They had to do a satanic ritual to get Christian McCaffrey on that roster. So
my God, I mean,
it cost them 4 quarterbacks.
They were down to their 4th string quarterback.
Yeah,
and then their emergency quarterback was Christian McCaffrey. I was really looking forward to seeing him open it up a little bit out there, but never got around to it.
I mean, it would have gotten ugly if they had Christian McCaffrey legitimately playing quarterback. What they should have done though is it's almost like Kyle Shanahan didn't even get that creative. Put him in I watched Ronnie Brown, and I think it was Cadillac Williams. No, not Cadillac Williams. It was just Ronnie Brown. I forgot who their other running back was. When they invented the Wildcat essentially against the New England Patriots, the Miami Dolphins did 15 years ago or whatever. They were winning games with that. Mm-hmm. I understand the Wildcat is now a commodity. Defenses know how to stop it. But watching Christian McCaffrey with that offensive line, with that talent around him, run some sort of a Wildcat, whether it's fake reverses, it's just him gunning it up the middle. Maybe he does throw it if something's wide open.
Right.
I feel like there was some creative things to try when your season's on the line. That's how I look at it too.
I feel like I got to the part of the point where he's looking at the game where he's looking at his playbook going, I have nothing left. We're not even on this chapter because instead of a quarterback. So.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's going to sound hypocritical of me because I was very harsh on the Cowboys for the way that their game ended against the Niners a couple weeks ago. But that was a 1-score game. That last play, albeit a fucking miracle needed to happen, they still could have, I don't remember the exact final score. They could have either won or tied or whatever the case may be with a last minute touchdown.
Right.
This game was a multiple score game. So for me, I look at it and I go, get creative. You're San Francisco. This is it. Like it's the thing from the Water Boy, where they just keep saying like, you have nothing to lose at the end, and the announcers are getting annoyed with each other because they keep saying the same thing. But lay it all on the line. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game was out of hand. There were some penalties that went the Eagles' way too that helped them out a little bit in certain situations. But for the most part, the game was boring after the first quarter. I mean, honestly, I watched it just to kind of watch it and see.
I think it was the second drive overall. Brock Purdy got that injury.
Yeah, and then I think Josh got the concussion in the second quarter, right?
Yeah, well, he wasn't out there long. He was out there for like 2 drives.
And even when he was not like injured, he looked like shit. Yeah,
no, he looked terrible. They weren't moving the ball at all.
Nothing whatsoever. It was unfortunate.
And then, Brock Purdy couldn't even throw it. So they put him out there and he literally couldn't even lift his arm to complete a pass. So they had to just essentially run the ball, which you make the team one-dimensional, which is why I'm wondering why Shanahan didn't just say, fuck it, let's go to a Wildcat type of situation. Yeah,
so I mean,
when you have nothing to lose, go for it.
So are the Eagles just that damn good, or do you think that was just a product of whatever happened with San Francisco that game?
I don't want to toot my own horn, but toot, I will.
I know.
I've been saying it this entire playoffs that Brock Purdy was going to come back to reality, and I think he did against Dallas. I think Dallas did a really good job of shutting them down and figuring out how to stop that team. If Dak Prescott was halfway a decent quarterback, I think they should have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Eagles just overall are a really good team, not taking anything away from them.
Right.
So you have a really, really good team against a Mr. Irrelevant 7th round quarterback. That's the battle. I give me the better team. They're going to win that every time.
You see, like, not even like one day after Trey Lance instantly tweeted, "I'll be ready by football camp."
I don't even know if the Niners are excited for him to be ready because he sucks.
So Jimmy G's not coming back; he's gone, right?
Yeah, Shanahan basically. I didn't read the article, but there was a headline on ESPN today said
he's not coming back. Yeah.
Shanahan said a split is extremely likely,
right?
Which makes sense. Jimmy G shouldn't have gone back last year.
You have Lance and Purdy. Do you go and try to get another quarterback to come in? Do you just have them two fight it out and you can go with whoever starts? I know it's kind of too early to talk about what they could be doing, but those are questions I'm sure at the forefront of their mind right now.
It depends. It's easy for us to say as outsiders, but I look at it from a business standpoint. You do whatever's best for your team.
Right.
So yes, you traded a bunch of draft picks. You moved up to take Trey Lance 2 years ago. Trey Lance has looked like shit when he's played. He can't stay healthy. When he's out there, he's not very good. Brock Purdy came in, lit the world on fire, albeit didn't look great the last couple of weeks. Obviously, this injury is alarming because from what I've read, it's quite a significant recovery time.
It didn't look good.
They said it's going to require surgery. It's a throwing thing, which is like if watch any pitcher in baseball that has to get like a Tommy John or a shoulder reconstruction or something like that. You lose some of that zip. It really fucks with you. And he's 21 years old or something like that.
I was impressed he came back in and ran a couple plays because they had to use him. To run like a couple screen plays, like they were like 5-yard passes. Even those passes, you could see that he had nothing behind it.
It's a shame because I feel bad. I don't like to see people get hurt on teams that I don't like the Niners. I hate Kyle Shanahan because he used to be in Cleveland and he wanted out. I get it. I understand his reasons, but he can still go fuck himself for wanting out of here.
I don't Johnny Manziel here. Come on, he wasn't excited.
I don't care that we had Johnny Manziel and that he hated his life, but the fact that he wanted out so bad just makes me go full fuck you. Then
didn't he write a letter or something?
He did a PowerPoint presentation on why he wanted out of his contract. Yes. Yeah, very famous PowerPoint on why he should be fired by the Browns.
Did we ever get a copy of that PowerPoint?
No, but I need it. I don't know if you guys saw this. I didn't jot this down. It just came to my mind. You guys happen to see? I don't know if you guys are familiar. George Kokinis. Remember when he was here? He was the GM under Eric Mangini.
No, the name sounds familiar, but I don't remember the whatever.
Okay, so George Kokinis was the general manager when we hired.
By the way, but it's great.
When we hired Eric Mangini.
Right.
From all the stories that came out, basically said Mangini was hired and told them, "I want full control." And they said, "All right, well, you still have to hire a GM just to have somebody in the office." So he hired George Kokinis. The rumor is Mangini was so hell bent on fuck that guy. I don't want a GM. Didn't even invite him to meetings, didn't let him do anything. So George Kokinis' day-to-day job, he would just come in and they said a crazy amount of porn on his computer. At one point, he got so bad he was drinking at work because he just had nothing to do. He just sit in an office all day, bored as fuck. He started coming in sweatpants. And the last straw, from what I heard, this is the rumor, he was caught fucking a secretary in his office, full George Costanza style, and it led to him getting fired and escorted out by police mid-season, or security. I'm sorry. So that's the Coquina
is this
story.
Is this just coming out, or
Yeah. So there has been. It's been joked about on radio.
NDAs got expired finally, or
no.
what?
So the story leaked many moons ago, kind of, but only in media, and the media people have kept it lock and key. So it's a running joke with Tony Rizzo. It's a running joke even with like Anthony Lima and Ken Carmen.
Right.
The George Coquina story has always been folklore in Cleveland for like, I don't know how to word it, just like for weird fans that like want to know about that kind of shit.
Sure.
I've always wanted to know the full story. I've Googled it before. I couldn't find anything. And ex ESPN radio personality Will Burge, if you remember him.
I do. Yeah.
He is the one who leaked the story this past week on his podcast. And again, he's prefaced it by saying allegedly. All this stuff is what he heard.
You got to protect yourself
because he heard it all secondhand. So you just say alleged. This all allegedly happened. So the story is, that George Kokinis was hired just to be the GM. Didn't really have to do anything.
It's a Ponzi, huh?
Yeah,
just sat there and did nothing.
Mangini was like, "You're not doing shit. I don't want you to do anything. So I'm not even inviting you to the meetings. You're not even going to come in and sit in with us while we discuss
This explains
talent."
so much about his coach term here.
Yeah.
It's
so
crazy.
he did all that, and then Kokinis just was like, "Well, fuck, what the hell am I going to do all day?" So he just got bored and literally went full George Costanza. He came into work in sweatpants. He's fucking the secretary. He's jacking off, which I'm sure if Seinfeld could have stretched the limits a little bit more than being on NBC in the 90s, they probably would have had episodes where George is jacking off at work and doing stuff like that.
Everywhere. God,
I mean, they did make the episode The Contest, so they kind of already covered that.
True.
So George Kokinis is the real life George Costanza, and I find that to be amazing because
is this guy, was he young, old? I mean,
middle aged. Google him really quick if you get a chance. See what he looks like. Middle aged, not in shape kind of guy. Like he's just your average looking dude. Like nothing special at all. But yeah, the George Kokinis thing has always been a crazy story here in Cleveland, and I don't remember how I even got on the topic of George Kokinis. Do you remember how I got there? I just start rolling sometimes.
You just talk about the guy having sex with the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Not with the guy. But
yes, that's George Kokinis.
He's now a soccer GM.
Is he? I didn't even know that. I stopped paying attention to him. But yeah, that's the rumor. And wait, who was I talking about having sex with? With who?
The
secretary.
The GM.
He said he was banging the secretary.
Right. Which one?
I don't know.
Kokinis or a different GM?
You said Kokinis was.
Yeah. But how did I start talking about Kokinis? I don't remember what I was talking
allegedly,
about.
You said, oh.
Like what got me into Kokinis? I don't even remember. That's how my brain works.
Shanahan. And we were okay. We were at Shanahan, then Mangini, then you get to Johnny Manziel.
That's right. Leaking the PowerPoint. That's what it was. Good call. Fuck, my own brain just.
Holy Christ!
I forget everything.
We're clearly fucking old. We shouldn't be on this show.
This is my day-to-day life. That's how my memory works. My brain just starts going 1,000 miles, and then I'm gone.
When you have to backtrack the map of your memory out loud, it's not great.
At least you know we were listening to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's why I'm glad. I didn't want to be like, what was I talking about? You guys be like, I don't know. Like, I would be like, oh, fuck. I can't even keep them entertained.
I was like, what? Say that one more time. I was too busy watching my show over here.
No, my brain literally goes like 1,000,000 miles an hour where like if I think of something, I'm like an animal. Like if an animal sees something and they're like, oh, where is it? That's
squirrel.
That's literally me. I'm like, I'm off Kokinis story and I don't remember how to get back. So thank you guys for drawing me back in there. I needed that because I got fucking lost.
That's what friends are for.
I appreciate you guys. But yeah, so I don't think we'll ever get the PowerPoint story or like.
Yeah,
I know he did a PowerPoint. I don't know if we'll ever get.
I just want to know if it was
was
it lengthy with details and maps or was it?
I heard it was very, very detailed, and it was basically his way of showing them like, I'm not being utilized properly here. I am better suited to go elsewhere. This is not going to work for me. Here's why.
I would have been better if it was just like one slide.
Yeah,
I quit.
Yeah, no, he wanted to. I think they would have let him out without the PowerPoint. He probably went in there and was like, guys, I need to go. This isn't going to work. And they were probably like, yeah, okay, we get it. And he's like, but let me really just double down and show you why I want the fuck out of here.
Please take a seat. We'll be here for the next hour. Take notes. I ask questions at the end.
So yeah, it was interesting to that story with Shanahan, but him wanting out of Cleveland makes me just go, all right, you're turning your back on Cleveland. Go fuck yourself. That's how I take it.
So
I take it personally.
Is the 49ers a destination for some veteran quarterbacks that are going to be coming potentially available or will be available? Because they literally were just a quarterback away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. They're going to open up a little bit of cap space with Jimmy Garoppolo coming off the books. He was making $20-something million now a year. You have Trey Lance still on his rookie contract now in year. There it is in year 3 on a 5-year rookie deal. Well, 4 with a 5th-year option if they pick it up, which right now he hasn't earned. You've got Brock Purdy coming back, still on a rookie contract. The one thing though is how much do they really believe in Brock Purdy? Because that is a situation where if he can come back healthy, do they just say, fuck it, we're going to roll with Lance and Purdy. You guys battle it out in training camp. May the best man win. And the best man looks like it would probably be Brock Purdy. But if you're the Niners, do you trust that? With this, the NFL window's closed so fast.
Yeah.
Do you trust your Super Bowl window with Brock Purdy?
Do you think that Derek Carr is better than either one of them?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
especially in that offense. Oh my God.
So he's going to be available.
Yeah.
Do you potentially throw something at Green Bay and see if you can get Aaron Rodgers?
Possibly. I mean, he's not going to be cheap from what I'm hearing.
Sure,
You're going to have to give up a lot of draft picks. It's definitely something they should kick the tires on at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we'll get to in a little bit about the guy who retired today or announced his retirement.
It's like Voldemort. We can't say his
I don't want to get
that. He's who shall not be named,
because again, I have to do that because the way I just explained my brain, if I say his name, I'll just start talking about that. And then I'm going to skip like 5 segments and I can't
literally
have that.
A squirrel.
I'm trying to stay on topic.
Squirrel!
I'm trying to stay. But yeah, so he could be potentially a suitor for them because he's from that area. He grew up a Niners fan. So how great of a fairy tale ending would it be if he goes home, wins a Super Bowl for his hometown team?
Right.
Would be amazing. So yeah, I think they will be looking at quarterbacks, and I do think that that's a hot destination. I think if I'm a quarterback that knows I'm moving somewhere else, if it's via trade or if it's via free agency, the Niners would probably be my first call. Them or maybe the Giants, because the rumors I saw today were the Giants have been negotiating with Saquon Barkley to come back, and they have not spoken with Daniel Jones.
Oof.
So they will be in the quarterback market, and that's a playoff team. So you have a team that literally just went to the playoffs, won a playoff game, and they're looking for a new quarterback.
And then,
so
and then
that's
Aaron,
a good situation.
Aaron Rodgers at a golf tournament on the Pat McAfee show, and he's like, I hear a lot of rumors of my name being talked about, but no conversation to me yet. So
yeah, he did say though, this is what he does. I think he did it a little bit last year when Nathaniel Hackett was hired by the Broncos to be the head coach. Everyone and their brother was like, okay, Aaron Rodgers is going to Denver, then he's going to follow Hackett. And he didn't. They obviously got Russell Wilson. Now Nathaniel Hackett just got hired as the offensive coordinator for the Jets. So everyone and their brother is saying, okay,
going to Jets.
Rodgers to the Jets. That's a done deal. But again, you got to trade for him.
Yeah.
Are the Jets willing to give up whatever they're going to ask for? Because it's not going to be cheap. I don't think. If I'm the Packers, I'm not taking anything less than at least 2 first-round picks for him.
Man, could you imagine a Rodgers to a Wilson connection? Oof.
I don't even care about that. I'm more excited to see Aaron Rodgers in the New York media because they eat people alive. That relaxed shit that he did with Green Bay. If you come out 0-2 and you're having a bad year where he's talking the media down and like talking about doing fucking hallucinogenics and shit like that, I don't think that's going to go very well with the New York media. They're not going to take that shit. You're going to be on the front page of the New York Post getting fucking mercilessly ridiculed. You're going to be getting destroyed from
What's up, Jared?
The media. What's up, Jared?
MGA chapter Presidente.
Yeah, El Presidente, as they call him on the streets. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how. I'm very curious to see Rodgers because right now he's at a point where I still love him. I love Aaron Rodgers.
He's also the last like era quarterback who waiting to just kick the bucket and not die, but like retire.
And that was a post today.
Being very morbid today, by the way.
That was a post that people were making. Literally, they were saying Aaron Rodgers is gonna have to wait a year now to retire because of who retired today. They're like, he can't go in the same Hall of Fame class with him.
It would be hilarious though if he did retire like 2 days later.
Aaron Rodgers is way too cocky. Aaron Rodgers is like, because that's the other thing. JJ Watt is going into the Hall of Fame, I'm sure. So there's 2 people guaranteed to go to the Hall of Fame that retired this year together.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers is like, I want my own time. So he's going to wait till next year, I think.
I wonder who headlines that Hall of Fame speech class. Is it going to be Brady or JJ Watt?
You really wonder who's going to do
Who do you want to be the person that goes last?
Who do I want or who do I think? Those are 2 different things, but they have very different answers also. Yeah, no, it's just going to be an interesting class, and we'll get to J.J. Watt later, too. I have a little take on him I want to get to. But, yeah, the Niners are definitely a spot to go. I just feel like they should have left it all on the field. I know that's a cliche saying, but they really should have. They missed an opportunity to just go for it. I mean, at this point, you were down, what, like 30-something to 7 at the end of the game? Like, you had no chance. You're down by 4 scores and 7 years ago. Just go for it. Little Abe Lincoln.
Are we going to go on a history tangent now?
It's Black History Month. I had to bring up Abe Lincoln, man. He freed everybody. That's our boy here on the show. We love Abe Lincoln.
Did you say your name was Abe Lincoln? I said it's Abe Lincoln, motherfucker.
I love that movie, Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh no, I was talking about.
I know. I'm just saying. I love the movie.
That's a good movie too. But Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I've never seen it actually.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
Swear to God.
Watch it. It's a Mel Brooks movie. How do you not like watching Mel Brooks movies?
I find Mel Brooks movies to be a little overrated.
Okie dokie.
Blazing Saddles. It's just like
it's a classic movie.
White people saying the N-word. How edgy. Like I don't know. It doesn't do it for me.
Back then it was.
I get it. Back then, I wasn't alive like you back then though when that was new.
He's making a History of the World Part 2. I can't wait to watch that.
I saw that. I mean, luckily he's like 99 years old, so it's mostly done by other people. I'm sure, but I'll watch the movie eventually. I've always heard about Robin Hood's Men in Tights, but I just never. You guys know me. I don't like old movies. I don't like to go back and watch shit because it doesn't add.
Thanks, Jared. Yes, it is a fucking fantastic movie.
I've only met Jared, I think, a couple times, and he looked old as shit too. So that makes sense that he loves it. It makes sense that he likes these old movies.
He's younger than you.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, he aged like guacamole. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'll watch the movie eventually. Like I said, I try to keep up with new movies. I don't really go back and watch old ones that often, but I'll add it to my list, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
isn't that with Andre the Giant says something about a peanut? Anybody want a peanut? Is that the same movie?
No, he's not in that movie.
What movie is that from?
Are you talking about the Princess Bride?
Is that? I don't know. You tell me. I've never seen either.
Yeah, Andre the Giant's and Princess Bride.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. I thought he was. I don't know. I thought they were the same movie. I don't know.
What hair are you talking about? Who? Me?
Me? I have hair.
I have hair. It's not. It's there.
I have some. I have hair.
Mommy, what the fuck are you? I think Jared's high as shit right now.
Mauiage? I don't know that language. A marriage? Are you saying with like a Boston accent?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Oh, the guy who said him quack, Justin.
I've got some hair.
It's there.
I still have the face of like a 20-something-year-old.
Kind of.
Princess Bride? I've never seen that either, yeah.
You got to watch that too.
I guess I'll add it to my list. I got a fucking mile long list.
You got a long list
movies.
of movies you have never seen. You need to, and you'll like.
Well,
them.
I listened to all you guys, and I watched Top Gun, and that movie sucked ass, and I hated every second of it.
Top Gun was a classic movie.
That movie was so bad.
Our taste in movies differs greatly.
I couldn't stop looking at how bad Tom Cruise looked back then. He was a pervert.
Oh, back then?
Yeah.
I was like, I think he looks.
He had none of his like procedures and didn't have like the fake teeth and everything back then. He looked weird as fuck in that
Scientology's
movie.
done that man wonders. Yeah. All the souls he's taken.
Yeah, there's something off with that. He's got the Tom Brady surgery.
We're burning time here, sir.
It's all right. We got plenty of it. We got 40 minutes still. We're going to 9. And we can go as long as we want. We own this shit.
That's true.
Dave owes us. I just don't want to make Tim be here too long, but we could do it.
Tim's
if we
got
wanted
I appreciate it, sir. With his bed tonight.
I like going home and being in bed too, so I'm with Tim. We'll get the fuck out of here on time. Fuck, we'll end early if I want it. But yeah, I just look at it as the Niners pissed away an opportunity to be a little more aggressive. If you're losing 30 whatever to 31-7, I think was the score, whatever the fuck, you're losing 30-something to 7. Keep going for it. If you throw a couple interceptions because it's Christian McCaffrey throwing the ball, if you fumble because you try a couple crazy reverses, at least you tried.
Yeah, I think that after the Johnson injury, I think you just saw the entire emotional collective just get sucked out of that team.
And it sucks because it's one of those situations where you don't want to see a season end like that. You don't want to see an injury.
Right.
Like, I hate the Bengals, don't get me wrong, but if Joe Burrow got hurt on the first drive and that game was over before it started because of that, I'd be like,
the team's robbed of a chance. I mean,
it's more so I'm pissed about the other teams. It's like, this could have been such a better game if they had more competition. Yeah. And same thing with the Eagles Niners. You look at the game on paper going into it and you're going, number one defense in football, the Niners, one of the best, number one offense, and one of the best defenses too on both sides. Both have great offenses and great defenses. And then Purdy goes down, Josh Johnson comes in, the offense is just done.
Yep.
It is completely stagnant. And then there was nothing. I mean, the defense, that's on them. There's really no excuses. Nick Bosa was banged up.
Yeah.
But again, he was coming in and out of the game, so he wasn't completely out of it like Brock Purdy. So injuries are part of the game. I can't use that as an excuse and say like, oh, well, I feel bad for the Niners because everybody has injuries. So it is what it is. But I'm more so just wishing it was a better game, I think.
Yeah, like I said, I watched the first quarter. Then after that, I just kind of checked in and see what was going on. I wasn't too pulled into the game at that point.
Yeah, like I had people.
You saw the writing on the wall.
Like people ask like when we did our picks on Sunday morning before the game, I was even like, I don't know who to pick here. Like it's tight. It's a 50-50 kind of game.
That would have been a great game had everyone stayed healthy.
Yeah,
I think that would have been a back and forth.
It looked like it could have been. I think Purdy made a couple decent throws on his first drive, or maybe it was the second drive, whichever. He hit George Kittle for a decent pass. So I was like, okay, maybe they could.
And the defense slowed the Eagles down the first or second drive. I know they scored the second or first. I forget which one.
I think it was the first. Was Miles Sanders was the first touchdown scorer.
And then the second and third, they slowed him down and they got. So I mean, it was setting up to be a good game.
It could have been a nice back and forth game, but I don't know. We got Eagles by 10 in the Super Bowl for Jared. That's hefty. That's a big spread there. I don't know if I'm believing that. We'll see. I might go Chiefs. We'll find out next week when we're at Lucy's. We're going to make our picks then.
Yes, come out and join us at Lucy's again. Get some drinks.
7 to 8,
do some
Lucy's
shots
on Broadview Road. Join us next Wednesday.
Drink a beer or two.
For the Talking About Balls Lucy Shenanigans special. We'll be there live. Possibly our 100th episode. I guess we'll find out one day. I have to go home and check because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it anyways. We're just going to celebrate it.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just call it the 100th.
Fuck it. 100th episode at Lucy's next week.
I'll record a 30-second clip of me just saying nothing. And I'll just post it and be like, there it is, 99th episode, just to get us in there.
Hell yeah, Jared. Bring the whole MGA crew. 100th episode. Come out and have some drinks.
Yeah, the more people, the merrier. Let's fill the place up again. Let's pack it. They updated their menu. They're ready to serve us this time. They are going to be prepared with the staff, and they're going to be nice
slow service. All the beer, drinks.
Can't
celebrations, naked dancing, pole dancing, and I believe they have karaoke, Jared.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing too, is we're going to wrap up from 7 to 8. What I think we'll do is we'll do the show 7 to 8, 8 to like 8:30-ish, maybe 8:15, give or take. We'll
maybe do
bullshit with the crowd,
trivia, whatever,
hang
questions,
out with people,
hang out.
And then we will clean everything up and get it ready for karaoke at like 9-ish, because they like to do that at 9 o'clock at Lucy's. So
there you go.
We'll be there. Now we move to the AFC, the Bengals and the Chiefs.
What a game that was.
Well, not arguably, I guess, the game of the weekend. That was the best one. A lot of, if Conspiracy Carl was able to make it here on short notice, I feel like he'd have some things to say, because there were some questionable calls that people didn't agree with, but I didn't find an issue with any of them, if I'm being honest, because I think everything was backed up with science and data and properly handled.
Jared, I'll do that after the show. Absolutely. He wants me to send him the tab logo to make a post. So I'll do that
after the
show.
Cool. Thank you. 7 p.m. next week, Jared. We're going to do 7 to 8 at Lucy's.
But yeah, I mean, after that game, there was some questionable calls. We all saw that, and we're not,
Yeah. So we'll do let's recap the game, and then we'll go over those questionable calls. So obviously the Chiefs win, last second field goal, very good game back and forth. Chiefs actually got up to like a 10-point lead or whatever, a 2-score lead early. The Bengals clawed their way back. And
I like that little pun thrown in there.
You like that? Mm-hmm. I was thinking of when I was getting ready to say it.
I was waiting for the voice for the Bengal in the corner.
I was about to say crawled their way back, and I'm like, no, clawed sounds way better because they're Bengals.
Good playing words.
So, yeah, thank you.
That's a dying cat, by the way.
Which I'm okay with. They
did die.
They died on Sunday.
True.
So
that's true.
Somebody had to be put down, and that was the Bengal. But yeah, it was a good game back and forth. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes did not look 100%, but it still was out there making plays.
No, but they built that offense around him being not as mobile.
Yeah, and everything worked. It was quick plays, get the ball out of his hands. He looked very uncomfortable at times. There was a huge fumble because he just couldn't move properly.
Yeah.
If he'd move in a certain direction and try to throw, he would noticeably come up limping. So that was tough to watch. I'm happy they pulled it out personally because I hate the Bengals.
And also it was your pick, but yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I picked the Chiefs because I just can't pick the Bengals. I hate them. I hate the whole Ohio. I just want to see a championship in Ohio thing. You fucking idiots. I hate. Oh God. Ugh. Speaking of me hating everything and being angry,
here's that squirrel moment again. He's going on a tangent.
No. Squirrel. This one's on topic. It's about the Bengals.
Can we get a squirrel sound button? So next time, every time he starts going off a tangent, we hit it.
Squirrel.
I'll give you the cue and just play it.
I don't think he needs a cue. You'll know what I'm doing when I start going fucking way south on a topic. You're gonna be like, oh God, here he goes. I can't help myself. But yeah, no, fuck the Bengals. I'm really happy that they lost. I'm even more so happy that now 2 years in a row in the biggest games of their lives, you had big mistakes by the Bengals last year. You had fucking the dude come in on the field in his flip-flops to celebrate. There was a penalty. They pissed away the game at the end there. Joe Burrow took that huge hit right at the end of the game by Aaron Donald. I loved everything like that. Just not that one. It wasn't embarrassing per se, but it's it's a heartbreaker. And then to lose in the fashion they lost on Sunday, which incorporates the questionable calls.
Sure.
The ghost third down play.
Yeah. I mean, it was weird, right? I mean,
it was weird.
Okay. In the moment, it was weird. In the moment, you're like, what the fuck? But then afterwards, when they went back and I think explained it, or whoever came on TV and explained it, okay, it made sense.
Yeah.
But in the moment, you're like, what the fuck? We're just redoing downs now?
For me, I was like, wait, he just said we got to reset the clock and we're redoing third down. I'm like, huh?
We like you so much. We're just going to reset.
Even the announcers were like, are they going to explain this? And then I think he did a great job. And even Gene Steratore came on, I believe, and he was like, well, if you look in this corner here, the head official or whatever was on the field, blowing his whistle, waving his hands to stop the play dead, but they snapped it anyway. And everyone's like, oh, well, then he just backed up and let the play go on. And it's like, no, he got out of the way because these are fucking
big athletes
that are going to destroy this old man.
Right.
So he got the fuck out of the way and was like, I'm going to let this play out. And then I think that's the problem, though, with fans and these, I won't say conspiracy people, but the people that think it was rigged, mostly Bengals fans. They're the ones that are really fucking weird about it.
Yes.
No, this is real. This is about the topic.
We're just testing the sounds right now.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were saying I was on a tangent. I'm like, that's inaccurate. I'm talking about the same story.
It's like the snap Justin out of it thing. I like it.
But everyone I think would have still been, Chiefs fans would have been pissed if they picked up the third down, because I think they were going to call that play back regardless.
Right.
So I think that's the thing that fans don't understand is they're immediately just blaming the refs and saying they gave them an extra third down. But had the Chiefs picked it up, I think they were still going to make them replay that third down regardless.
Right.
But because it went the opposite, everyone just goes, rigged, it's fixed.
It's just the entire sports world right now. Now that there's more sports gambling going on, everyone's just on edge. And just be honest, over the last 2 years, 3 years, sport officiating across the board has been questionable at best.
I mean, how many times have the NBA come out and apologize same day of like, I mean, we talked about it on Sunday, the Lakers game that happened Saturday night. They came out immediately after and said, hey, our bad, we fucked up.
Right.
But that doesn't help a team. Like,
however, I've never seen the NFL come out and apologize.
No, they do.
But it's like indirectly.
They do it privately. So like Kevin Stefanski, after a game, someone will say like, hey, what do you make of this horrible call? And he'll say, well, I'm going to have to talk with the league tomorrow. And then they'll talk on Wednesday with him again. And they'll say, what happened? He said, the league said, the call wasn't right, but what can you do? There's just nothing you could do. They don't go back and like remedy anything. They literally just tell you our bad. Yeah. And that's it. So it's a shame, but it's always happened. They're humans. The refs are. And I heard some things the other day, which I wanted to talk about. It doesn't have anything to do with this specific play, but there were people that were saying they need to get more technology incorporated into the game. They need to get the microchip in the football, things like that, because there was the play with, I think it was Mecole Hardman or Juju, whoever the fuck it was, that he stretched out at the last second. The ref still marked him short, and everyone's like, well, if they have a microchip in the football, they'd be able to tell where the ball's at. However, the microchip can't tell you where their knee is. So if he's down and stretches the ball out, the football doesn't know he's down. The football just goes, okay.
He's that we're only like 10 years away from this, right?
No, we're sooner than that.
I mean, I feel like they're going to have sensors in the entire field, out of bounds, touchdown lines, everything.
I mean, I think that they probably already do. I know the NBA does, and
we're all microchipped anyways. We all got the COVID vaccine, so we're good there.
Not all of us. And some people got the super vaccine, like DeMar Hamlin, but not everybody wants that one.
That just explodes your heart. That's the upgrade.
Yeah,
it's a biggie size.
That's what I'm glad I did. I said no to when they asked me. They're like, "Do you want the DeMar Hamlin shot?" I'm like, "No."
Do you want the random heart attack shot?
Yeah, I think I'll pass. I think I'm working my way to that on my own. Don't worry, I don't need any help. But I mean, the NBA has that kind of technology where they can literally track every step a player takes throughout the whole game. They have the analytics and metrics that they can do is ridiculous. I'm sure the NFL has that capability.
Sure.
Especially with them using turf.
I mean, I don't know if the NFL has enough money to implement it, though. I mean,
they're hurting right now. They're strapped for cash. It's all going.
They may have to take a loan or two.
Roger Goodell needs an extra bathroom or two, and they just don't have the money to spend right now, which I understand.
They spend all their money making fake people to plant everywhere else.
They spend most of their money just keeping people quiet after lawsuits and incidents. Probably it's all just hush money. That's all they spend in the NFL. But they. I'm still on topic. What are you talking about?
This is funny. This is right of squirrel.
Anyway, I think the NFL will do that eventually, and like the microchip in the ball, like I think they already have that somewhat. It's going to be hard because you still need that human to tell you where the person was when the ball was in a certain spot. Like if a guy's standing on the sideline, but he stretches the ball out, the ball might not know that guy's out of bounds. So it's like, okay, yeah, you got the first down, but the refs are like, well, no, he was out. So it's going to cause more chaos. You're still going to need humans. There's not a quick fix. There's not some sort of anything of like, well, let's just go all technology, because even baseball's trying it with the robot umps and stuff like that.
That'll be here soon.
It's coming.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't even think you need all that technology. I think you just need a crew, which they already have, to just be instant. If they fuck up a call in the field, this crew needs to be watching it just to go, okay, you fucked that up, change that spot. And the refs are like, okay, give me 1 second, we'll fix that. Instead of a 10-minute break where they all have to huddle around and watch a camera. And even in the NBA, they do it. Why does it take so fucking long for them to review plays? You don't have a crew that can look at it and it takes a minute or two with your naked eye to just be like, because they have a million different angles that we don't even get to see on TV. So it's baffling to me that it takes so fucking long to do all these.
What makes me laugh too is this week when did you see the Arian Foster thing?
Yeah, he said the NFL's rigged. That just came out today too.
I love the satire part, but then you go on like Twitter and you see people like fucking legit saying,
"Oh yeah,
the truth's finally coming out." It's like, are you guys that fucking dumb that you can't pick up on the jokes?
I mean, we are literally in a day and age where anything you don't want to believe, you can just say is fake, and that's it. And that's just how people go nowadays.
Right.
Like the Damar Hamlin thing. 2 weeks ago, everyone said he was dead. Yep. They said he was a clone and this and that. And he had to come out, and the poor guy had to do a fucking video where he talks a little bit just to get people to get off his back.
Yeah.
And you know what happened because of that? It didn't change anything. Now people just say it was a fucking deep fake, and they say he was still a robot.
Squirrel button ready for me, Tim. So real quick,
here we go.
Right after we left Sunday, I think it was Sunday or Monday, we were I was online and you're doing the video, and it was a guy talking, and a picture of Morgan Freeman next to him, and it was like split screens. And it was him doing all the motion and talking and everything, and it was all transposed onto what he looks like on camera behind screens, and it's Morgan Freeman.
God.
So I open up the comment section, and this technology does exist, right? And it's possible to happen.
Oh, it does.
I open up the comment section, and the first fucking comment's like, and that explains the Hamlin conspiracy.
Yeah, again, it's very easy to just to find holes in things to make you think that it's not true. It's super easy. What can you do? That's just the day and age we're in. Nothing's authentic, nothing's real, everything's fake. Everything's rigged according to fans. Again, with the Bengals game, you had the replay of third down. Yep. Then you had the
pass interference play too, right?
Was there a pass interference?
It was the out of bounds play.
The unnecessary roughness,
which I still don't think that's
Patrick
bullshit.
Mahomes was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds too.
What's up?
The defender was also out of bounds as well. Like they're both out of bounds,
right?
And he happened to slip, and then like he pushed him.
But I mean, that's the one thing that most people have agreed on this week. They've said that it could have been Mahomes. It could have been any other player. Yeah. They were calling that. That's a penalty in the NFL.
Yeah, I know, but it just sucks though because
it's just I get it.
The dude legit slipped and he like buckled his knee while he did it too.
Bengals fans are pissed that their team lost.
Oh yeah.
So they don't want to accept that their team lost on such a heartbreaking Browns type moment. I mean,
sure.
If there's any team that's going to lose a huge game like that, it would be the Cleveland Browns.
Hey,
so
go Ohio team.
I'm happy. There you go, Browns fans that want to love the Bengals. That's that Ohio pride. Choking at the very last minute. Fuck the Bengals. I'm happy they lost. I'm happy it was a heartbreak, and I look forward to talking shit to their fan base on social media for the foreseeable future because they can all go fuck themselves.
Quietly go fuck yourselves.
No, loudly, if I'm telling them.
Loudly go fuck yourselves.
How'd you do in the bet world this week?
So
you told us on Sunday you're doing the 10 for 10K.
I was doing a 10 for 10K. I was on day 6.
And I don't mean a marathon.
Yeah, not this fat ass. I was doing a 10 for 10K. I was on day 6. I was betting 320 for 640.
Okay.
And I missed it by 2 points. Had a 5-leg going. And I missed it. Mr. Harrison Barnes decided to not shoot the ball in the last fucking 5 minutes of the game. And then they got overtime, and he decided not to shoot the ball in the last 5 minutes of overtime.
That'll happen.
Missed it by 2 points. So I restarted the day 10 challenge on Monday. That lasted a day. So I started the day 10 challenge again on Tuesday. I'm on now day 2. So now we're starting over again.
I like that we're almost on day 10 of you starting the day 10 challenge every day because you keep losing.
I know. Well, 6 days is pretty impressive, I think.
No,
some
for
good
sure,
bets
for
in
sure.
there. So now
we're more than halfway there.
We're on day 2 now. So I got some good bets out there tonight. I also took some chances.
By this time next week at Lucy's, you might be
on day 1 again.
You might be close to your 10,000 or might be starting over.
I could be very close. It could be betting $1,200 that night.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be a huge night for Kyle. Just make sure you guys let him make his picks before he starts drinking because
could get ugly.
Making drunk picks when you're trying to win $10,000 not a great. I don't suggest it.
How'd you do this week?
Pretty good. I have not had a losing day in some time because I do a lot of bets. I'll be honest, but I've yet to be negative. So I may only come away $10 positive because I lost 50 on one app, but I won 100 on the other, or whatever. Right. So I'm I haven't been in the negative. So that's how I look at it.
And that's good.
Yesterday had a good night. Saturday, I talked about it on Sunday morning. I had a good night. Last night, the one thing that fucked me, I did a 15 leg parlay and I hit 14. The one that missed was RJ Barrett. I needed 14 and a half plus points. He ended with 13. So
yep, I needed his 15 to win one of my.
I needed that game to go to overtime though, because I had LeBron over.
He has to be in the doghouse. He did not play the last 4 minutes or the entire overtime.
I think that was just the way. I think their coach is Tom Thibodeau. I think that's just the way Thibodeau is, because I noticed too in the overtime they didn't substitute one person. So I think that's how Thibodeau is. His big knock when he was the head coach in Chicago was he overworked guys. That's why a lot of people think he kind of ruined Derrick Rose, because he was the head coach with Derrick Rose, and he does not give guys breaks. He makes your starters, you're playing like 75% of the game.
But he's the starter though.
Who?
Barrett.
No, I understand, but I'm saying like he just overworks guys.
Yeah.
So like if he brings someone else in and they're doing well, he's gonna ride you till the wheels fall off.
And the shooting guard that replaced him was doing pretty well last
night.
I
think it was Quigley or Grimes, one of the two. I don't remember which one, but so he switches out very halftime, and Barrett had like 6 points or 7 points. So I remember looking at that and I'm like, fuck, he's not going to do it. Or maybe it was even like midway through the third, he had 7 points. And I was like, shit, that he's going to be the one that cost me. And then I turned the game back on 10 minutes later. All of a sudden he has 13 points. It's like the fourth quarter. I'm like, fuck yeah, one basket. I'm in the clear. And he didn't score again. So it is what it is. But I did some other bets on a different app. Those hit. I had one with like LeBron scoring over 25. A couple other, it was like a 6-7 leg parlay.
Was that the one that was paired with Jokic? If he had like whatever,
I did that one also. That was another one. That was a plus 160. It was Jokic and LeBron both to go over 20 and over 6 assists.
Yep.
And both of them had triple doubles. Jokic, I don't know if you saw his stat line, was fucking nuts. He went like 28, 18, and 16 were his stat line.
It's insane.
And LeBron did, 27 and 10 and 10 or whatever, a triple double. No,
he started off slow as shit though. I thought he wasn't going to hit it.
But I had a feeling he was going to have a really, really good night because he was at the Garden. He always plays well. But his stat line was super impressive, triple-double. But then you look at Jokic, and you're like, LeBron went to overtime to get this triple-double. Jokic did this shit by the fourth quarter.
And probably
like it was
sat
nothing.
The last 5 minutes of the game.
And he rested a lot because I watched the beginning of that game, and he sat most of the first quarter. And even the announcers were kind of like, yeah, Jokic and Murray getting a lot of rest this game. And I'm thinking, fuck, I need him to get this 20 and 6. And he went way above and beyond.
He heard you.
Yeah,
he's like, I got you, Justin. We got this.
So betting is going very well.
Any picks of the night tonight, or any fun bets you have going on tonight?
So I actually started my own following another guy who's doing a similar thing like yours,
sure.
10 for whatever, the 10-day challenge. And the picks for tonight were, I'll have to pull it up here because I don't remember off the top of my head. The picks for tonight were Jason Tatum over 6.5 rebounds. I know that was one of them. I haven't even checked to see where he's at with that, but I will in a second. It was Jason Tatum over 6.5 rebounds, Steph Curry over 25 points, and then I think it was De'Aaron Fox of the Kings over 20 points. That was the three-headed parlay he has. His thing was put down 20. It pays out. You win 35, and that's your start for day one.
Nice.
And then you go from there. So that was his day one triple parlay. So we'll go from there and see how it goes.
I did a couple random ones. I did the basic, ladder challenge one, and then I threw some other ones in here too. The one I like tonight though is it's a rebound one. So I got 3 picks, three part parlay. It's Al Horford over 5.5, which I think he probably already has. Mikal Bridges over 3.5, and Pascal Siakam over 6.5.
Okay, that shit's very doable.
Paired together, $20 bet to pay back 102.
Not bad at all. So we have Jason Tatum having himself a nice game. He has 23 points at halftime. Kyrie has 11. The Celtics are currently winning. Let me get to the top there. 79-45. A little bit of a comeback, I guess. And Tatum has 6 rebounds at halftime, so I need him to be over 6.5, so he's one away. So that one looks like it's in the clear.
I think you should be okay.
Here's hoping. But yeah, so I'm doing pretty well. I like to always do like a 10-15 leg parlay, throw down $10 on it just to see what the odds can be, and hope for the best. You hit them sometimes. You hit them sometimes.
I love doing them in college games. Just do like put all the really big favorites together.
I don't touch college. Yeah. Fuck college. Fuck those kids.
Fuck them kids.
All right, we have some NFL news we want to get through a quick little rundown on because we've got some time here. Tom Brady retires. We have a nice little.
You said his name.
Now we're at the time. I can say it. So Tim, if you've got the video lined up, I wanted to play it for everybody. This is what Tom Brady sent this morning. Just showing off that he lives in sunny Florida, sits on a beach while we're up here in fucking 10-degree weather, as he's going to go get some more plastic surgery, probably go maybe into Europe and just fuck a bunch of hot chicks because he's Tom Brady and that's what he can do.
Oh,
so
woe is me.
poor guy. I feel really bad for him. He lost his wife, but he's gonna gain a fucking ton of pussy. So real tough life. But yeah, let's play that video here.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning,
I'll
Tom.
get to the point right away.
Thanks.
I'm retiring
Again.
for good.
Sure.
I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. Like, you only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much to every single one of you for supporting me, my family, my friends, teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing.
So all that plastic
Love you
surgery.
all.
Didn't thank Giselle. I noticed that one.
He said family.
She's not his family anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a nice video. It kind of makes me think that he is so fucking competitive because that's all the rumors. If you look at last year, it didn't look like he was the same guy. Obviously, he was going through the divorce. His life was a little different.
Right.
He also didn't seem as like riled up as he normally is. He didn't seem as into it. And it makes me think if he only played last year out of spite for Adam Schefter.
Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah. Because
Adam Schefter leaked his retirement last year. Brady wanted his moment, and Adam Schefter took it away from him. So I could see Brady being like, "Fuck it, we're going back. I'm doing it again."
I honestly think that is completely plausible
because that's how that broke today. Was that video from Tom Brady? Nobody else got it. Tom Brady was the first to announce his retirement via that video.
I'm sure every fucking media person's like, "God damn it!"
A lot of people are speculating, strictly speculation, that he did not roll out of bed, head down to the beach at 7:00 this morning and fucking film a little video retiring.
Why not? You're Tom fucking Brady. Why can't you do that?
They feel like he did it before. Like, this thing's been recorded for like a couple weeks now since he got eliminated. He just waited till today to announce it.
Conspiracy theorists, where are you at? Let's go back and check the weather, where his house is at. Let's compare it.
An actual Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio tweeted the same thing. He was like, "Do you really think Tom Brady just went to the beach this morning and was like, I'm just going to record this video here today?"
It's Tom Brady. I think the guy's fucking crazy. He does what he wants.
Sure. I agree with that 100%.
Did you see the Peyton Manning interviews going on today?
No, I did not. What's that about?
Someone was, they had Peyton Manning on. They were just mentioning the Tom Brady retirement. And he's like,
what did Adam say? I didn't see his last two comments. I'm sorry.
Something, "I won't apologize." Oh, it wasn't egregious as they made it out to be. That was the penalty getting pushed out of bounds.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it was that. That was a good call.
Then he threw down the GOAT thing about Brady.
Yeah. For now, Patrick Mahomes is going to dethrone him.
But no, so anyways, they talk about the retirement of Tom Brady. He's like, "You know what? I wrote a long letter last year, sent him a nice couple bottles of wine and whatever else he said he sent him, or some kind of like, whatever."
This is Peyton Manning saying
Peyton
this?
Manning.
Yeah.
He's like, "Do you think he sent it back to me when he did when he unretired?" No, he kept that. So he gets nothing from me this time.
It's like the episode of The Office where they're doing the gift baskets.
Yeah.
And they come back and they're like, "Where are the chocolate turtles?"
I want the chocolate turtles.
That was Peyton Manning. Like, "I want this shit back. I gave it to you. It's like a wedding gift. Like, if I give someone a wedding gift and they get divorced in a few months, like, do I get that shit back?"
Right.
Like,
exactly.
You shouldn't be able to keep that.
I want that toaster oven back. But yeah, so he said he only gets nothing from me this time. So congratulations.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't blame him. You sent shit last year. You don't get it. You don't get to celebrate it twice.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, Tom Brady officially retires, quote unquote, officially. I said it earlier. Tim and I were talking before the show at Studio 2 back when, back in simpler times, back when we thought we were going to do the show in a normal spot.
Back when technology worked.
No, it actually didn't work there either. We were just sitting there talking. It felt like it was in the 1990s. We'd just sit there and have a conversation.
Yeah,
you know how fucking weird that is?
A candle out.
Like, oh, my Wi-Fi doesn't work. Like, what the fuck is this? Where am I?
Get a nightgown on by candlelight. You guys were talking about sports.
The official Redline Radio time machine took us back to the 90s with dial-up internet and no smartphones. But no, we were bullshitting, and I told him the same thing. I'm like, I won't believe this retirement until training camp is over, the season's about to start, and he is still unemployed.
He doesn't walk out of the tunnel for some team.
Or, I mean, even if the other thing too that's going to throw off the scent is going to be if he but he's supposed to be taking a job with Fox.
Correct.
He has that contract that was waiting for him. So if he, quote unquote, is like, all right, I'm going to go work for Fox, and he's doing some pregame shit or preseason bullshit, and then he could always just be like, you know what? going back. So
I hope it's like a pregame, like last pregame of the year, and Tom Brady's on the sideline. He's talking it up. All of a sudden, he rips the.
He's got a fucking tearaway suit on.
Tearaways it. He's got the
He's
fucking
got a
like jersey on.
For who though? He'd have to be at the right game
for whatever team he's at. Right there,
and and he signs a contract on
right
TV
there, and
in the suit, rips the fucking jumps. Or
he then stone cold stuns the starter quarterback at the time and walks
100%.
out there. And,
he has to go out there and he has to tell. He gives him the Donald Trump, "You're fired." He has to cut the guy.
Yep.
Live on TV. This would be. I would love this.
This is amazing.
NFL, HBO, call me. Hard Knocks.
We can produce this episode.
Yeah, I'm only good for one episode, and Tom Brady has to be willing to do all this. If not, we're fucked. But I got a pretty good idea. It's better than fucking 80 for Brady. Who wants to watch that bullshit?
And that's just a spitballing in 5 minutes there.
Yeah, well,
imagine if we had some like.
We'll sit down with a team of writers. Look at the shit flow. You're gonna win an Emmy. But yeah, so he's quote unquote retiring.
So goes out on top, the best quarterback of all time, right?
For now.
So you think he is right now the best quarterback of all time?
I mean, it's hard to say that. I don't go off of championships.
Sure.
Because look at how many things had to go right for Tom Brady to get those championships. And I understand that happens for everybody. Everything has to go right for every person to win a championship. But look at how many championships that Tom Brady has that are connected to cheating, scandals, things like that. There's Deflategate. There was the Tuck rule. There was the Spygate. There was so many different things that I mentioned this before on the show.
The Tuck rule that he admitted that was a fumble back when he did 30 for 30.
100%. Because it fucking was
the best fucking Freudian slip ever. And he's like the fumble, or in this case, the Tuck rule. Yeah, bullshit.
He's a fucking liar. But I mean, more power to him. I mean, if it happened to my team, I'd be like, no, it was definitely not a fumble. Like, yeah, of course. But everything he's done has been connected to some sort of scandal. And to me, it kind of makes me go, well, his shit's a little tainted.
Yeah.
And I hate the championship argument. The championship just makes you better than everybody because everyone says Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time because he has more rings than LeBron. Well, Bill Russell has more rings than Michael Jordan. So does that make him better? And they're like, well, no, it's different. Like, you can't change your narrative. It's either championships make the man, or you have to start breaking down other facts. And that's where, to me, LeBron James is the best basketball player of all time. And Jordan fans just go, oh, championships. That's all they have.
I saw this thing today. I forget who it was, but he made a good point, and I 100% agree to it. And he came out and said he does not think that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. He thinks that the greatest season quarterback of all time, meaning regular season quarterback, is Peyton Manning.
I agree.
The best Super Bowl quarterback of all time was Joe Montana. And he goes, what you're going to remember Brady for is his 23 years of playing in the league. There's records he has that he's set that will never be touched because he played so long.
Yeah.
And no one's ever going to come close to that length.
Because of the longevity.
Of playing a career like his. So there's stuff that's going to be cemented in stone just because how long he played. Is he a good quarterback? Yes. But he's not the best at what he did. It's just how long he played.
Sure. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers. You have Aaron Rodgers who's technically going into his, 18th season.
Right.
But he sat for like 4 years under Brett Favre.
Right.
So he's only played for.
Could you imagine Aaron Rodgers playing 5 more years?
And that's the thing, though. If he was able to start from day one, maybe he wasn't as good as he turned out to be. So his whole career could have been changed. This worked out perfectly for him. Patrick Mahomes, same thing. Patrick Mahomes is slowly breaking records and setting he's on pace to just destroy records. And he sat an entire season when he came out. So it's Tom Brady obviously didn't start from day one either. So I'm not taking that away from him, but. If Patrick Mahomes can continue to play at a level like this and stay relatively healthy and play a 20-something year career, I think he shatters Tom Brady's records.
And let's not discount the fact that you also had one of the greatest coaches of all time,
sure,
as your coach who designed an offense around you.
And that's the thing with I don't want to get Kyle's all about death and being morbid today, so I guess I'll join him. But look at Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid; they're a great team.
Sure,
Patrick Mahomes is like 25 years old, whatever, give or take 26. I don't know how old he is, but Andy Reid is, he's probably not long for this world. Let's be honest.
Cheeseburgers.
Doesn't really take great care of himself. He's not getting any younger. So he's not going to have a 20-year coaching career with Patrick Mahomes like Belichick had with Brady. It's going to happen with Patrick Mahomes has to get a new coach, maybe a couple coaches, who knows, and they have to be able to work together to continue the success, which I think is possible.
Sure,
with his skill set.
Talent will carry you very far.
I think so too. But I think coaching and football goes a long way together because, look at Belichick. I hate Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones sucks. Bill Belichick took him to the playoffs last year. I thought the Patriots were going to be terrible. This year even, they were right there. If they one game away from making the playoffs another year in a row without Tom Brady. Like that's great coaching.
Right.
It just goes to show you that the Bill Belichick knows what he's doing out there.
And granted, Brady was in the playoffs
and
every year too.
Brady's talent, great. And then he went to Tampa Bay and they kind of started building these super teams for him. Year one, when they won the Super Bowl, dominant defense. Then they start adding guys like Julio Jones. The guys want to come play for them. They get Leonard Fournette. They're getting all these really talented players. Antonio Brown, they win a Super Bowl with. So that happens. And I think Mahomes is going to have a similar career. And kudos to Brady, the most Super Bowls, whatever. He's got that for him. But in terms of me watching quarterbacks play, personally, Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers are the two best quarterbacks I've ever watched throw footballs. Right. And I would argue Andrew Luck, but he retired, so he's going to be a third. But those three guys were just so fucking good. They could put the ball wherever they wanted, however they wanted, on the run. Like, they were just so good. Brady, great quarterback too, but he didn't make those same kind of plays. He was just a great quarterback. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him, but watching those other guys be so pinpoint accurate is just, that was next level to me.
Yeah.
So kudos to Brady on possibly the end of a career.
Congratulations. I hope you do well at Fox.
And we'll rip through a couple other news stories here. We have D'Amico Ryans officially hired by the Houston Texans, ex-player for the Texans. Kind of cool to see a guy come full circle like that. He's been the defensive coordinator with the Niners. We'll see how that goes there. Texans are a dumpster fire. They got
a lot of good picks, though.
They have a lot of picks. They got fucked out of the number 1 overall pick because of Lovie Smith on the way out. I love that.
Go Lovie.
But we'll see how that goes. I'm curious to see if D'Amico Ryans is anything without the Niners being his support system.
I'm curious the team he puts together down there.
We'll see how it goes. They're obviously going to be a defensive-oriented team, so I'm excited to see that. Next up, Sean Payton traded to Denver for multiple draft picks, as we said would need to happen.
First and a second, right? First this year, second next year?
First this year, second next year. I think they got a couple picks in return from Denver, but the head coach had to get traded, which is a cool thing in the NFL. And a lot of people, I don't know if they knew that going into it. I remember telling them on Steel City, because they were like, oh, Sean Payton's available. Would you take him here? And I'm like, you need draft picks. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, he's under contract. You have to trade for him. So that's what happened. Denver did it. They're all in with Russ Wilson because I think they realized last year was a dud. It was a colossal failure. And they said, fuck it. They're doing what the Niners didn't do in the NFC Championship, and they're swinging for the fences.
Yeah, I mean, they had to look at the situation and go, there's no way that Russell Wilson regressed this much.
Right.
Something's not right.
Sean Payton was able to, I mean, Drew Brees is a great quarterback. I'm not taking anything away from him. Him and Russell Wilson are
the same size, I think.
Drew, if Sean Payton can work with a smaller quarterback and Drew Brees, win a Super Bowl, make him an MVP, I think that's why they were like, fuck it. This guy's got to be able to work with Russell Wilson. Otherwise,
he's coming into a good situation.
Yeah. Great defense. They had one of the best defenses in football for the first half of the season last year.
Losing a D coordinator, though. But
probably losing. Did he take a job elsewhere?
I don't know if he did yet, but
he's interviewed. But the other thing, too, is Sean Payton's going to want his own staff. So he's going to bring in some guys. I'm sure he'll get some talented coordinators. So that's a team to keep an eye on. And then you have Kellen Moore, who was just recently fired by the Dallas Cowboys, was hired by the Los Angeles Chargers for the same position, offensive coordinator. Kind of funny that one game in the playoffs, that one play almost with Ezekiel Elliott, that fourth down play, cost him a head coaching job.
He took the shot from fucking McCarthy.
100%.
He took the bullet for him there.
There were rumors for months leading up to the playoffs, and like the season started so well for Dallas, everyone's saying Kellen Moore's going to be a head coach. Like, he's gone. He's going to be a head coach somewhere. He's so good. And instead he gets fired and he just takes a lateral position right back to an offensive coordinator. But I think he's in a better situation in Los Angeles than he was in Dallas personally. I'm not a fan of Dak. The Chargers are the Chargers arrow is moving up. I think the Cowboys arrow is moving down.
Yeah.
So I think he did the right thing. It's a good move for him. It's a perfect timing.
Plus, it's a nice kind of reset for the Chargers and Herbert and see what happens with them going into
That's
next
what I'm
year.
excited for. I think Herbert's a much better quarterback than Dak Prescott.
Yes.
So I think if Kellen Moore is going to prove he's worth a fuck in the NFL, it's going to be with the Los Angeles Chargers. Really quick, we'll wrap up here because the Pro Bowl is going to be happening next week. We'll do the Pro Bowl snubs. I wanted to go over a couple. One guy we mentioned earlier who announced his retirement, who did not make it to the Pro Bowl. I kind of feel like the NFL should have put him in just as like a nice thing.
Yeah.
And all the info I have on the Pro Bowl snubs is old. I'm going off of the initial Pro Bowl rosters, not alternates and things like that, except for one person who I will talk about. JJ Watt. He had a good amount of pressures. I think he had double-digit sacks this year. Not MVP caliber, not your typical prime JJ Watt, but for a guy who just announced his retirement, having a pretty good year like that, give him a Pro Bowl nod. I mean, come on.
Yeah, put him out there, have him hang out with his friends or whatever.
Yeah, let him go out with one last hurrah.
Yeah,
That's
sure,
one guy
absolutely.
that I think they should have given him that, because Tom Brady's not going to be at the Pro Bowl. So let JJ Watt go and have fun with everybody one last time, because he's going to get overshadowed now. All the news, like JJ Watt's done. Obviously, his season ended weeks ago with the Cardinals. his career's over. You're not going to hear from him again. Tom Brady going to overshadow the Hall of Fame weekend for the guy. Give him the Pro Bowl. At least they could talk about him then. Give him a day.
It's kind of unfortunate. It really is. But I want to. I mean, you bring in the Pro Bowl. I mean, is this bound to go away in the next couple of years? This whole
Depends on how this goes. They have this new format they're going with.
Sure.
It sounds fun. Everybody seems excited for it. The flag football, the different games and shit like that. It sounds like it could be good. It's really going to depend on how it goes. If it goes well, I think it could rejuvenate things.
Like I miss the old days of the Pro Bowl, like the quarterback challenge,
100%.
Stuff like that, like hitting the football,
trying to hit the moving targets
and
things like that. Yeah,
that was fun to watch.
Yeah, the footballs had a little like chalk at the tip of them. Yeah, it was an awesome thing. They need to bring that
stuff
back.
like that. You need to bring back because that was fun.
I would watch that all day.
You put skills to the test.
They used to play the replay on ESPN randomly, and I'd watch the old school ones.
I just watched one the other day. It was
Marino and Brett Favre and stuff like that. Yeah,
watching these young versions, but I'd like to see some of these younger quarterbacks now out there hitting these targets and whatnot.
And the other thing too is like, okay, you want to give a guy a Pro Bowl nod, whatever, it is what it is. But then invite a bunch of quarterbacks. It doesn't even matter if they made the Pro Bowl or not. Like, let some young quarterbacks just come and throw at this fucking competition just for fun. Absolutely. It doesn't have to be a guy who put up career year or anything like that. Just let the guys have fun.
Have like a kickoff contest who can go 50, 60, 70 yards out there and see who wins it. You know what I mean? Let stuff like that.
Let position players kick field goals or something fun.
Yeah.
Just like let them fuck around on a football field.
But no, they want to do all this stupid shit that the flag football thing's weird to me, but the other stuff
I don't have any interest in watching the flag football. To be honest.
Curious to see what happens.
Sure. Matt Milano got screwed, I think, out of a Pro Bowl nod. He was one of the best linebackers in football. Christian McCaffrey was an initial Pro Bowl snub. Jamar Chase getting a Pro Bowl nod over a guy like Jalen Waddle, who had a much better year than Jamar Chase, I think is disrespectful. And Amra St. Brown, same thing, wide receiver, did not get an initial Pro Bowl nod, and he scored a touchdown like every game. He was one of the best wide receivers in the league.
Carried me to a championship this year.
And then the one key snub that I find so fucking disrespectful in the alternate aspect, they gave Tyler Huntley,
Mr. Two touchdowns
from the Ravens, who sucked, a Pro Bowl nod over Jacoby Brissett. And to me, that is blasphemy. Jacoby Brissett deserved to get in over Huntley. If you're going to give it to a backup quarterback who did the best that he could, Jacoby Brissett's numbers were fucking outrageous compared to Tyler Huntley's. Yardage was like almost double. The touchdowns were like quadrupled, maybe more. I forgot. I think Brissett had like 12 touchdowns. Huntley had 2. Brissett had like 6 interceptions. Huntley had 3, I think. I think he had more interceptions than touchdowns.
Yeah, percentage-wise, I mean, Brissett was far and ahead above.
I know Huntley can run. He had some rushing touchdowns, but you're letting a quarterback in for their quarterback skills and numbers.
Right.
And Brissett's the better quarterback.
I feel somebody needs to answer for that.
Yeah.
Like, give us a reason. How did it vote? How did you guys vote?
I thought Huntley being named to the Pro Bowl was a joke.
Right. I heard that on the radio. I'm like, oh, they're just making fun of it.
And then now all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, they really did that. And everyone and their brother is like, over Brissett. And I'm like, holy shit, they're right. Like, he fucking deserved it. That's crazy. But that's it for sports this week. I want to talk about that. We will talk about the guards next week. We got all off season. The Guardians did release their schedule, so we'll talk about that another time. Yeah. I threw that in as filler, but
no, I love this real fucking start point though. They had a
West Coast.
Yeah, 10 o'clock first
in Seattle.
Yes, Watson had more touchdowns than Huntley.
Yeah, correct. Watson had more touchdowns than Kenny Pickett, too.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk about that in Pittsburgh, where they say how Deshaun Watson sucks.
We're not going to go on that tangent right now.
Deshaun Watson in 6 games had better numbers than Kenny Pickett did in 14 or whatever. Nobody's ready for that.
Squirrel.
I'm saving this tangent for another time. This is for when I'm on.
Oh, he's pocketing the
This
tangent.
is for when I'm on with the Steel City guys and they want to talk about Kenny Pickett.
So in 5 months, we'll bring it up
Yeah,
again?
that's true. I'll forget about it by then, knowing my memory. It's going to be long gone. But yeah, so we'll talk about that. Yeah, the Guardians are starting their season on like a fucking Thursday on the West Coast at 10 p.m. So I can't wait to stay up to watch a regular season game till 2 a.m.
I'll watch the first 4 innings and probably go to bed.
Yeah, no, I'm not staying up for that shit. The baseball season's way too long.
I'll see you another 180 some other times.
I don't even stay up for West Coast games for the Cavs.
Yeah.
There's too many games in a season for me to waste sleep for a meeting.
I'll catch the highlights in the morning when I'm taking a shit.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Especially in baseball. There's a lot more games to worry about.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that being said, we will get to our favorite part of the show, and that is just the tip. And we will, of course, start off with our man, the myth, the legend, Timbuktu, Black History Month's finest. He is ready to rock and roll. Take it away, my friend.
And of course, you said Black History Month,
I had a feeling.
So you knew that was going to be my tip this week.
We didn't even talk about it before the show. This was all just speculation, and I had a hunch, and I was right.
If you were a betting man, which you are, you would have won. But Black History Month, man. Today is the first day. It's the first of the month. Wake up.
Bone Thugs and
So,
Harmony.
which happens to be a part of my Black History. But Black History Month, every day of the month, I do post a video on my social medias. This year, I'm going to, I guess you could say, be fueled by Facebook Reels. I'm gonna do it on Facebook. I did one today. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Do it on TikTok again?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it on TikTok.
Okay.
I have to do it on TikTok.
I was watching my TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to do them on TikTok. One of my actually my boss from Rascal House, shout out to Neil, Nasty Neil. He was like, Tim, it's February, it's coming up. This is what I talked to him last week. He's like, it's coming up. I'm looking forward to your Black History post. I'm gonna post them. Yeah, it's definitely nice to see that people actually appreciate them, and they look forward to seeing them. This is the 4th year. I every day have to do a different from the previous years, so there's no duplicates. You could actually go through and fact check, and which I actually do. I go back to make sure I didn't do this person. I know when I see a person, I'm like, oh, I did that one. My mom gave me a Black History calendar today. It had a whole bunch of black figures on it, but I'm reading through it. I'm like, damn,
It comes with like facts and stuff like that too.
It doesn't come with facts.
Oh, okay.
All the facts I have,
you can
do
research it yourself, but
Yeah.
it still introduces you to new people.
Right.
Maybe if you don't know them. Yeah.
Right. So I do the research at the moment of the video. So everything is pretty much improv. Just I film it right then. Very little editing. I do a little bit just because I got to get it to my liking. I'm a perfectionist.
100%. No, I agree with that.
Today's video, I think it would have been dope if the audio would just been a little bit better. It was I played a song. It was Georgia on My Mind about Ray Charles, another black figure. And it just was, I feel like it was a little too loud.
Okay.
And I was speaking a little too low. I wasn't my back room at work. Like,
okay.
So,
Yeah, you got it in a pinch. You weren't in a Hollywood studio. You got to do what you can.
But it's interesting nonetheless, and it comes with a comedic touch. So tune in. Timbuktu, that's TIMBUKTU_31 on all my other social medias except Facebook, because Timbuktu stands for Tim. Obviously, last name is Washington. I'm on every dollar. That's where the buck comes from, and 2 because I'm a junior, and that's where you can find me on Facebook, Timothy Washington Jr.
I never knew the origin of the name.
I didn't either. I like that.
This is like day 1 of Black History Month, and learn everything about our fellow Black History person.
That was a hell of a fun fact. I honestly had no idea about that.
Legit a fun fact.
That blew my mind.
Oh, really?
I did not know that was the origin of that. That's fucking awesome.
I mean, JG's
so
simply called JG because of Justin George.
Justin George.
We're clearly not as creative as you are.
I didn't even come up with it. Everyone just started calling me JG, so I was like, all right, whatever, I'll roll with it. That sounds kind of cool. I'm not picky.
Too. I like that.
That is fucking impressive.
It's funny because every comedian, they like, oh, dude, you should just say your real name, because I guess that's a thing for comedians. You have to come out to your real name and not a nickname. So every time I have to kind of defend myself, well, I'm like, look, it is my name. Give them the breakdown.
Yeah,
and keep going.
I mean, to me, it's no different. I know you're a fan of comedy, so I'm sure you know who he is, Louis C.K.
Yeah,
his real last name is like Skelky or something like that. It's like Polish or something, and no one could pronounce it. So they started saying CK. So he literally changed his stage name to just C.K, because that kind of sounds like his actual last name, but it's just easier.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I feel like Timbuktu is quicker.
Hell yeah,
I agree. Now that I know
the reason, yeah, hell yeah.
Wow. My mind's blown. All right, so my tip of the week is a podcast that I've talked about before, but just listening to an episode today, they were talking about them both being in the Super Bowl, and that's the New Heights podcast with Travis and Jason Kelsey. I think Jason Kelsey's fucking hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, both of them are great.
Yeah, so
like they both, like Tom Brady having a career after football already.
Yeah,
is like he's kind of fucking boring. I don't think he's going to be good. These guys are going to be really good.
Oh yeah, they're only still a year into it, and they've put out some pretty good content.
Yeah.
I want to see those two go on the McAfee show and have like a little 3-way podcast, because I think it'd be fucking amazing to watch.
Oh, those guys would be fantastic.
But they were talking today, and they were going over they talked about part of the NFL being rigged, and they're both like, well, guess what's rigged? They really wanted a Kelsey Bowl, didn't they? So they got it. They were talking about I didn't know this because I was listening to the podcast, but I guess they do simulcasts on YouTube. Travis was wearing a Cincinnati Bengals shirt, which was hilarious.
That's fucking awesome.
And
I mean, how great? Sorry to interrupt. How
Yeah.
great was after the game?
Oh, the know your role and shut your mouth.
Before that, so
Oh.
they're interviewing Mahomes, and he's giving like the most heartfelt speech.
Oh,
He's
the
like,
Burrowhead thing.
"Oh, I just want to thank God for getting us here." And Travis Kelce just cuts in front. He goes, "Burrowhead my ass!" right in the middle of it. It was funny as fuck.
Dude,
I
Travis
laughed my ass
another
off.
level. He's got kind of like a little like
He's got some swagger for sure. I
swag
don't like to
to
use that
him.
word because I'm very, very white and I'm in my 30s.
Right.
But I know the kids like
Got
to
some
say
swag.
it. And I know
Spider.
I,
No cap.
I get the definition.
Spider.
Spider Mitchell. Call the exterminators on the spider. Get him off my lawn.
But no, it was. I mean, it was a good. It was a good episode today. Just I didn't finish the whole thing. I was listening to it on the way to the show there, and then on to the way to the other show over here. So, but check them out. It's hilarious. First year in, obviously with those names, they get big backings already. But it's a good show. They do it once a week. I'm curious to see what it's like after the Super Bowl. What content they have. If they start branching out and doing more stuff. But no, check it out. It's worth a listen. If you love sports, if you love listening and like laughing, it's worth a chance.
Absolutely. That's something I keep meaning to get into.
Cleveland's own, guys. Cleveland's own.
Before I turned the car out, they were talking about the Cavs going to watch the finals in 2016 because they're from Cleveland Heights.
Pride and
That's
joy
why
of
it's
the
called
Heights.
New Heights.
Yep. So that's really cool to see guys that can do that. And kudos to their mom who she's going to wear
Lucky
like a
her.
dual jersey.
Yeah, lucky
she gets
her.
to see her kids. So that's
First
awesome.
time ever in history brothers have played each other
And
Super Bowl.
again, this was the outcome I wanted last week. I wanted a game. I'll talk about it more on Wednesday where it's just neutral.
Sure.
I don't care about either team per se. I would like to see Mahomes get an extra ring, but if he doesn't, it is what it is. I'm just happy to watch a good football game, and I don't care one way or the other.
It is what it is.
I'm looking forward to Kevin Hart freaking out on the field again.
I think he might get recognized this time. Last time they wouldn't let him in. The security didn't know who he was. This time I think they might know.
How
him.
do you not know who Kevin Hart is?
That was like 5 years ago. He wasn't as big, and
Well, he's not as big now either. But I mean,
he's been in a lot more. But I also think it's like if you look around, if you're the security guard working at the Super Bowl, your adrenaline's going. You're trying to do your job. Thousands of people surrounding you. You're not going to like
get that guy a field
Kevin
pass.
Hart. You're kind of like, hey, somebody's kid's loose. Like you just yelled at this little guy.
Get that man a sideline
stocky
pass.
little kid is.
Yeah, he's a little beefy. My tip this week is a movie that I got an advanced screening to go see yesterday. Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan's Shyamalan, whatever.
Ding dong.
I took the picture from inside Cinemark. I actually it was before it started.
Okay,
it's just the main screen. I actually took the poster and I had that to send to Tim, and I forgot I took that. And I was like, oh fuck it, I'll use the picture of me actually sitting inside the theater. So I got advanced screening. It comes out this Friday. It is. I don't want to give too much away. There's not a whole lot I can say about it. Everything you
is
see.
there a twist?
Do you want to know?
I mean, it's M. Night Shyamalan.
But I'm saying that's his typical movie forte. He always said that twist, right? There's a twist, of course, right?
Right.
Of course.
I don't want to say anything because if I do one way or the other, it ruins the movie. So I can't tell you.
Don't say because I want to watch it.
Yeah, so go see it. I'm not telling anybody one way or the other if there is your classic M. Night Shyamalan
I'm a big
twist.
Dave Bautista fan, so I'm curious to watch
Bautista
it.
was great. Everything you see in the trailer, though, is the movie. It is these 4 people show up to a cabin. They literally knock on the cabin and they say, you need to let us in. We are here because one of you has to kill one member of your family in order to stop the apocalypse. And the family is like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're crazy. Like, get out of here. We're not doing this. Like, blah, blah, blah. And it's a movie of them trying to convince this couple to either kill one of the husbands or the daughter, their adopted daughter. But one of them has to be killed by one of their family in order to stop the apocalypse. They cannot commit suicide. They cannot be murdered. They have to kill each other. One of them has to be sacrificed in order to stop the end of the world. And the movie it's fucked up. There's some really tense moments. I will admit there were some moments where I'm kind of like, what the fuck you thinking? Like, come on, we're really doing this? But that's just my overanalyzing of things. But overall, it was a fun movie. It was worth a watch. I think
Enjoyable.
if you're going out for date night, you're looking for a movie, go see it. It's only an hour, 40 minutes. It's not too long. Nothing crazy, not a ton of gore, no nudity, nothing like that. Just
Dave Bautista's not naked? Son of a bitch.
no. I mean, I think if you look closely, you could maybe see his hog outline in his jeans, but that's about it. No actual nudity. But
I do have a question though.
Sure.
Do they see dead people?
I mean, you see some dead people in this one for sure. Spoiler alert: you will see some dead people in this movie. That's all I can say. But no, it was a cool movie. It was weird. It went in a different direction than what I was anticipating.
Yeah.
I went in kind of blind. I knew it wasn't like a horror movie per se. I knew it was kind of like a thriller suspense movie, and it was pretty good. I'm not a huge M. Night Shyamalan fan, however you say his fucking name.
Really?
I keep wanting to say Shyamalama Ding Dong every time I say it because I text that to my friends when I always talk about him, but I'm not the biggest fan of him.
He's had like 2 hits, and then the rest have been duds.
I liked obviously Sixth Sense is a classic. Signs was okay. I
liked the Signs.
Signs was fine.
Yeah. The Village was fucking trash.
The Village sucked. I really hated his other recent movie, Old, where the people on the beach.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw that one. I hated that movie. That movie was fucking awful. Didn't he make
The Happening too?
Yeah, he did The Happening.
That fucking plants kill you. Get the fuck out of here.
That one wasn't great. He did. I liked Split with James McAvoy.
You know what?
That was good.
Split was good. Yeah.
Unbreakable back in the day was a good one.
Mr. Glass, right?
That was Glass. Yeah, Samuel Jackson. Yeah, he did that. He's got some good ones, but overall, I'm not a huge fan because I know he likes to throw that fucking weird twist at the end that kind of ruins everything. And when I saw Old, I think it hit HBO like a year ago, I hated it. So when I saw it was coming out, I'm like, M. Night Shyamalan. I'm like, oh, fuck. I only saw it because it was free, but I'm happy I did. That's one that I would probably watch that again. It was a good movie.
And was everything connected? I mean, like I don't want you to.
He doesn't connect. His universe isn't connected.
Oh yeah, like for previous movies.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Split is connected to Unbreakable.
Those 3
Split, are Unbreakable
and Glass.
Those 3 were. I don't think anything else was.
Nothing else connected.
Obviously, he just likes working with Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
who's unfortunately not in this one. Spoiler alert: he's not
in his own mind anymore either.
Yeah, exactly. He can't talk or read lines. But no, this one, to my knowledge, unless I missed something, because I'm not hit like a diehard of him. I don't think there were any connections to other movies. What's up?
Pun, not a diehard of his.
I didn't even realize. No, I was talking about M. Night.
You're on a roll.
I was talking
right
about
now.
M. Night.
You're
I didn't even mean to do that.
now.
I forgot I was talking about Bruce Willis, but no, it was okay. It was a good movie though. It was fun. Go check it out if you get a chance. It comes out this Friday in theaters. It's going to supposedly dethrone Avatar 2.
Doubt it.
That's the rumor. The report is it's going to dethrone them from the #1 spot for the weekend.
Interesting. That'd be.
They think it's going to do pretty well. That's the projection. So it comes out this weekend. Give it a shot. It was fun. So that's going to do it for us. Everybody
Lucy's,
good?
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesdays.
7
Lucy, 7 to 8.
Come join us.
Come see us. Come say hello. Buy us a drink.
We will have good internet.
Yeah. They'll have much better internet than Studio 2. We will be stealing it from the Speedway next door, and it's going to work just fine. But come check us out, and we will see you guys then. On behalf of everybody at Talking About Balls, that's just something ugly people say. Thank you, everybody. Have a good week.